The story of a child who traveled to another dimension during his disappearance. The following story seems incredible, but its narrator, the son of an eyewitness who lived through the events, assures us that it is absolutely true and is one of the most interesting cases of paranormal phenomena and UFOs that have ever existed. Whether you believe it is up to you. We are in Ethiopia, and it is all started in 1960. He said, when my father was just 9 years old, that day after school we went to play with his best friend Gabriel, the son of a general from a friendly family. They played for a long time in the yard of my grandparents' house. Dad remembers looking away for a few seconds, and then when his friend Gabriel turned around, he was no longer there. And this was practically impossible since the courtyard was surrounded by a brick wall almost 3 meters high, that's about 10 feet tall, while on the outside it was permanently guarded by armed guards. A few hours passed, and his parents, my grandparents, and the guards had already joined the search for the little Gabriel. 2 days passed, and they found not a single clue as to where my father's friend might be. Since he was the son of an important general in Ethiopia, the search reached a national scale. The press gave extensive coverage to the disappearance. The police went door to door looking for the little one, giving clues and information about his physical characteristics and the clothes he was wearing, which were a school uniform with brown pants and a white shirt. Helicopters were deployed in deserted areas near the place of the disappearance, but all was in vain. Weeks and months passed. People who knew about the case began to lose hope that the child could be anywhere. Many believed that the worst had happened, and then exactly 6 months to the day of his disappearance, Gabriel appears in the yard of my father's house as if nothing had happened. This is 6 months later. And the most incredible thing was that he was wearing the same exact school uniform, neither cleaner nor dirtier. It was the same Gabriel who disappeared 6 months earlier. After it was confirmed that the child was in excellent physical and mental condition, the mandatory interrogation began. From here on, the case took an unexpected turn. When answering questions about his whereabouts during this time, he stated that he had gone somewhere else, to a place that, although he found as strange, he had liked. He met, he says, other children with whom he managed to get along perfectly, although they were not from Ethiopia. He described, in fact, a white, huge and bright enclosure without windows in which doors disappeared into the walls. There were many buttons on the walls that, when pressed, would make doors appear or beds grow into the walls. He also reported that he observed a very bright, clean city full of flying cars. He saw its inhabitants, who, although they had human characteristics, looked different and to some extent, very strange. A very kind person led him to a very tall building, where he told him that he would be staying for a while and left him in a room where he could rest and have fun. Gabriel said that by pressing a single button in this room, he was able to travel to other places such as the beach, the countryside, or the mountains. The room itself could fly. He also reported that after a few hours, as it seemed to him, he returned to the same yard he was in Ethiopia. From Gabriel's perspective, his disappearance was relatively minor. Of course, no one believed the child. Ethiopian superstition and religion forced him to visit a priest, suspecting that a demon had entered his body. Dad still has contact with him. He did a PhD in physics, and I believe that he lives in the Netherlands today. This is amazing. What happened? Amazing. Paranormal experiences. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.